Okay. It is going. So the first question was, which assignments were the most thought-provoking for you and why?
Okay, so for me, I think it was all the discussion about like the mental health issue because like going back when I played volleyball, like we never really discussed about this subject. And one of my teammates have like depression. She starts to have depression, and it was like kind of the topic, you are not able to speak about it, and like no one was speaking about how bad she was at this time. And like just like seeing all the video and speak about that, I was like, wow, it's really something that happened everywhere, and we just should like speak about it and not do the thing that we did at the time. So for me, it was like this subject. I don't know you.
Yeah, for me, I think obviously all the discussions, I really liked being able to kind of see everybody's opinions about everything that we talked about. And like the personal experiences were all really interesting. Um, but I also think the CLA one we did was really thought provoking. That was the one, the prompt was the social conflict view sees sport as a reflection of the inequalities in society, and that makes it the true nature of the human condition. Sport serves as the opium of the masses. So sports are kind of seen as a social institution in which the powerful oppress, manipulate, and coerce and exploit the less powerful. And we're supposed to take a position for or against that. So for me, I enjoyed this assignment, and it kind of made me think more deeply about what sports are like really doing. Like on the surface, they kind of just seem like a spot for the rich to kind of get richer, I guess. But I think that once I kind of got to dig into it more, you kind of saw that sports give like a platform to athletes to talk about like civil rights movement, like for example, the Black Lives Matter. Several athletes use their platform to talk about that. So I think that once I looked into it more, I kind of saw that sports were kind of a place where change could be made and how it could be used for good rather than just like the rich getting richer, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. Like it also like was a topic that I never thought about it. And like this person is like able, I think for me, like enable me like to think a lot more about what is going on, like just you have the sports, but the beyond of the sport that and even like think about it. So like it enable you to think about those subjects. And I don't know you, but like we need to do like a report about like a person that we like what she did and all the stuff. And I did do it mine with friends that I play a long time with her, and that she's still playing, and she like is a professional now back in Switzerland. And that was also like kind of, shocking because like I know her, like she's my friend, and I was like, I was so impressed with her career and all the things that she been through. So it just made me think like a lot about, yeah, all the steps that she take and the sacrifice that she made. So it was also really, I really liked it.
Yeah, I always think it's interesting. Like you see things on the surface, but once you like get talking to people and once you do more research, you kind of see how much deeper sports go. I thought that was really interesting, just overall.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so next, we kind of cover this a little bit, but the next question is, how has your perspective or understanding of contemporary issues in sport and exercise science been challenged, changed, reinforced, or deepened? And then explain. So if you want to go with.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, for me, like it was really like I never have like classes about this topic because like my major field back in Switzerland is not at all like connect with sports. So it was really interesting to just see like all the beyond of the sports because like you just watch the game, you follow the scores, but you never like go deep in the game and what the athlete going through to be able to play. So it was like really interesting to see like all the beyond of the stage. Um,
Yeah, I think
mm,
for me, kind of similar, like getting to just think more deeply. Um, but all the issues that we see in sports, like obviously I've heard them talked about before. Like I've had classes about sports before, but we've never really talked about how deeply like all the issues are really affecting society. I guess I think that that was all just really interesting. I think that it kind of changed the way I think a little bit. Like now, when I see something happening on a team or like something happening in the news, I'm kind of gonna stop and think about it more than I would have before. we talked about everything in class.
Mhm. Okay, and the last one, it was review the courses you are enrolled in the upcoming sessions. How does what you learn in the courses connect with the content to be covered in your upcoming courses? So for me, like it's not at all connected because like when I will go back into someone, I still have 1 year to do, and it's just like marketing classes. So I won't touch again to this issue, but it was like really interesting to just look at it. And I don't know you.
Okay.
Yes.
So I only have one class left for my degree at Westcliff, and it's SPM 402, and it's called Leadership Principles in Sports Management. So I think that for me, I'll really just be able to go into that class like with kind of those contemporary issues, everything we talked about in the class, whether that be like gender or inclusivity or like the identity that an athlete has outside of sports, or like discrimination or any of the other things we talked about. I think that I'll be able to go into my next class kind of with those in the back of my head and like think about how if I was a leader, how I would kind of incorporate those issues or think about those issues and try and be a leader in a way that I can like lessen the impact of those things, I guess, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
true. Perfect.
Okay, well, let me stop sharing.